when you get lucky in life or things work out in life, when you see a peak and then there is a fall, you rise again, but not all the way to the peak, but halfway. Do you have to overcome the previous peak to feel that capitalistic high?
I think you lose the idea of capitalistic high.
Right.
Because you become philosophical after you lose a lot. So I think philosophically, for me, creating anything new is a good high. So for me in a way, I would say Foundry is a very big high in sense of creating a new idea and giving it to life. And making
is it redemption in a way, like revenge? In a good way?
It's not but it does, when something works, it's a redemption of some sorts.
Dheer wanted me to ask you a question about marriage. This is not coming from me. You believe in marriage, evidently, at least superficially. She's saying yes. No?
Marriage
he doesn't?
Marriage has a role to play. Marriage has a lot of role to play. Marriage has a role to play in terms of coming back to somebody. Marriage has a role to play in terms of building a family together. Marriage has a role. It gives you stability.
But you don't necessarily believe that it is right for other people. Not for your children, not for me. I don't know how Ronnie feels about marriage for his children, but how do you see the evolution of marriage?
I think it depends. Every individually is made different. But I think going back at home to somebody is an interesting. I think it's a fulfilling thing.
Do you do?
No. I think marriage, firstly, if you're talking about for your kids, I think each one has to be done. I think the day of a dad or a mom sitting down on a dinner table and say, if you marry this man, you'll be happy for the rest of your life is out of the question, because there are no guarantees in life. So I think I'm very much each one to their own. I'm very happy that my daughter's married. I can't say I would have been equally happy if she wasn't married. As long as she was happy and involved with what she wanted to do, I don't think that would have been. It's always nice to have an anchor.
In a previous life, Ronnie was a politician. The diplomacy comes from another life.
No,
I have to lean on KB to say
it's not diplomacy, because that's what, my daughter doesn't want to have kids. Now, right. I'd love to be a granddad, but I'm not going to be a granddad. I don't have more than one daughter. So it's a question of acceptance and you move forward. So no, I don't think it's about diplomacy at all.
But you are a very diplomatic person. No. I think you're a diplomatic person to the T. Like, you never say one. In the time that we've been here at Foundry, I have said a bunch of random shit. He has probably said me multiplied by 2. You have not said one thing really.
No, I think I'm very candid and blunt. What you see is what you get.
What is the most candid thing you said today? In the 15 hours of us spending time together.
When we said exit, keep or pass, I said exit in one line in that sense. And I think if this was, somebody has to go home or no, I'm taking the, I think with me, I think it's what you see is what you get.
Yeah, but you'll say exit. Like, I would say something else and he would say something else. He would say, ye to murda lag raha hai, isko yahan pe kyun bita ke rakha? Yeah, but I would say my version of it.
Yeah, but my Hindi is not so shuddh, so I will just stick with the word exit. No, but I have to say, no, I don't think I'm diplomatic. I think I'm maybe a little bit, as I said, literally transparent, and what you see is what you get.
Would your friends think you're diplomatic?
No, but they do say I'm quite actually blunt, but also reserved and quiet. So now when you go reserved and quiet, and if somebody's having a major discussion on Trump, I'm not participating in that conversation because it's kind of redundant. That may be diplomatic or not. I think I'm just...
Let's try it one more time. What do you think of Trump?
What do I think of Trump? The first 1 year, I thought it was a good idea because the world needed unpredictability. I think everything was too well settled, and I think unpredictability is the core for leadership. As far as I'm concerned, it's really one of the prized virtues. If you're a little unpredictable, everyone's around on their toes in a good way. And I think he brought that. Then it just went south. So right now it's in the deep south. Because, but I think when you go to a situation where you look at a self-interest of one nation versus everybody else, I think that's too extreme. And I think that's where
Isn't every nation like that?
Sorry?
Isn't every nation like that?
No. I don't think when you have power, that's the first biggest responsibility you have is to not show the power. And I think that's what most nations have done. There are enough nations that could use their power in a different manner. It's not like India is not super smart. If you sit down with the armed forces and whatever else, they feel they're as good and as strong as China on the border. But will we ever take the first step? No. Is that a diplomatic answer again?
Yeah. But that's okay. Okay, coming to Foundry. So there have been many versions of Foundry. I remember day one when KB described the idea to me. How long has it been now?
I think the idea came to us in this, I would say, June last year.
So it's been a year.
It's just less than a year.
Just a little less than a year.
What was the idea back then? What is it now? What has changed?
I think there was an idea wherein there were two ideas we were working upon. One was somebody told me to write a book. And I was not willing to write a book. And then I had another idea during that time to write a book or do something around the school of life for entrepreneurs. How can we build a system wherein entrepreneurs learn about how to lead a great life? Because entrepreneurs' life is very, very different and nobody works on helping them to lead a great life. So that was another idea. So I bounced every idea with Santosh and we decided we'll go to Kunur to write it down. And we wrote down the book. In fact, he created a whole book, a whole chapter, a new book on the life from where I left last to the current time.
For everybody who doesn't know Santosh is KB's third better half. They have a very nice toxic relationship of their own. They love each other and hate each other.
Most of the questions I'm hearing is about having doubts. Yeah. And I personally don't understand that. I never had pocket money.
पर हमने पूछा यार उन्हें क्वेश्चन करने के लिए दबा के
नहीं डाउट की बात हो रही.
I think Kishore is keeping quiet about the better half part.
Hate each other publicly, love each other privately.
So I think that was then the school of life, and from there the idea became that one can build businesses in a residential program and to create a whole ecosystem in which entrepreneurs can flourish and one can really create businesses. And we had some experience of helping many entrepreneurs in the last 4 years of building businesses in Think9, which ventures which my daughter started. So we helped build many entrepreneurs, and we thought just because the dominant medium of communication has changed, social media being the dominant medium, there was a whole new consumers emerging, new age consumers as we call them.